Burns Teriyaki Ginger Flank Steak by IdiOtCoOKs. Music by Idiot Burns. Here we are taking a peek at the fresh ingredients. We got ginger, garlic, and green onion. Now you're going to want to finely chop the ginger to a good consistency. You're going to want to chop the green onion and mince the garlic. The reason why you do that is to bring out the flavors, the full flavors, while it's in contact with the meat in the marinating stage. You're going to get a lot more flavor out of the garlic by mincing it, and the maximum you can get out of the green onion is to chop, but you can get a real good fine chop on that ginger, which is going to help. You're going to want to add brown sugar. You're going to want to add ground mustard, about 2 tablespoons of the brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of the dry mustard, 3 teaspoons of Worcestershire, and I missed the fish sauce. You're going to want to do a teaspoon of that. You're going to want to do a couple tablespoons of soy sauce. I do 3 or 4, and about an equal amount of vinegar, or a little less, a little more if it was pork. Also, I missed sesame oil. I don't use sesame oil because I'm allergic, but I did miss the stage where I added about a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Now you see, this is the marinade. This is the meat. The meat is very red. This is just showing you the beginning of the marinade, what it looks like, what it's supposed to look like, and how the meat is supposed to be covered. Now, hours later, you can see the meat is taking on a brown color. You still have reds peeking through because this is just a few hours later. Now, the next day, you can see it's very brown. And the consistency of the marinade is even kind of changing into a brown. It's all becoming briny. The whole thing is, dare I say, it's just soaking in, and it's kind of like melting almost together. Not quite, but you know. And that's the process of marinating, and it softens the meat, and it changes a lot when it comes to the way the meat cooks. Such an important tool. It's great to do with almost any meat you can think of. I would say it's especially it'd be an especially great tactic to do with gamey meats. Not that I eat a lot of those, but if you were to be cooking game meats, I'd say stews and things like that are some of the ways to make those really good. Now what I'm doing with the flame here is I try to get a real even bed of coals, and I try to make sure I can get my eye on every coal and get a nice even heat going. I have a very small, like, hibachi style grill, as you can see, and so now I'll go through all the cold spots, if you will, and I'll just make sure those coals themselves, those barbecue coals, are just make sure they're lit. Just going through, hitting every spot. And as you can see over there in the corner, I got my iPad. I was watching some football. So as you see, I go through, I get all the spots. I did this a couple times, and for quite a while longer than I videoed. But I just wanted to make sure that it got into the video so that you saw what kind of level of detail it takes to get a good, proper cook. You got to care and love for the cook process. It's just like anything else. So here you go. This part of the video has sound because we're about to hear the best sound you can hear as putting the meat onto the grill. But there are some great sounds in this video. So here it goes. Here's the moment, you guys. Ready for it? All right. Very nice. So you get that nice and flat onto the grill. Throw some of the stuff from in the marinade, some of the pieces of the fresh ingredients onto the top to kind of cook in and get going in the steam, going the flavors. And as you can see, it's already starting to just brown right there on the bottom. There you can see the cooking process beginning on the bottom of the meat here. I'm just trying to get some cool angles of what's going on here. Check it out. All right. I think I do a slow-mo shot of that smoke because it was just so cool looking today. There you go. Heck yeah, you guys. So if you notice, this is a blog style cooking show. Hope you guys can dig that. Oh my, dude, man. Light up Jay here. Oh man. Nice. And as I did it the first time, as I flip it, I put some more of those fresh ingredients on top. I know people might think, oh, the marinade is raw. Well, it's gonna cook up, guys. It's gonna cook up real hot. Oh yeah. Taking it off the grill, and then I let it rest for a while. Just a few minutes. Sound like a chipmunk. 2 times the speed. Oh yeah. Little slow-mo steam for you. Oh yeah, this is good. Smoking on some galactic glue. I already ate it, you guys. There's none to share. But all the instructions and know-how is right here in this video. You can go make one yourself. This is a less than $30 meal. You could feed 5 people with it. So, you know, it's kind of an expensive meal. For what it is, though, it's not too bad because we had some steak potatoes. We did sweet potato fries. Could I dig a gravy with it? I could dig a gravy with it. Look at that. My wife's peeling it apart. You can see how tender it is. It just peels apart. And there you go, guys. That's the recipe. That's my first edition of Idiot Cooks.